Right, it's FOMC day. We just got our first cut of 50 basis points. And you guys saw me trade live the FOMC um, decision and then the PAL trade. So, one of the first things that I wanted to go over was the first trade's often hard. You got to be quick. And we talked on voice about what I was going to be setting up, right? I set up like the 65s, the 60s, and the 70s, right? So at the beginning, when I saw the flow start to just show that it's extremely bullish, I was able to grab the 70s and was able to sell them out literally in this same candle for, you know, 200% is, so was that 300% there? So, this one's hard. So let's just pretend we didn't get that, right? Maybe you're not as fast or whatever, but these other ones I think you can grab because they're based off of slower moving things. So one of those is levels. We pre-drew these levels um, before the event. We were ready to go for support and resistance. And what happened was you got this, fade back, and I said, all right, at 246, right, I'm taking this long right here. Well, why? What's the point? What's the reason? Well, what had happened was, we got this initial hit, right? We faded back, we showed some strength, and it's like, all right, well, now Powell starts talking, we start selling off. We've got a good risk reward setup here. If I need to, then I can do one of two things: take a shot here and cut it, or I can use this box to buy. So buy here, buy here, buy here. Stop out below, right? Okay, great. So we hit it, and at 251, I said, hey, partial on that lotto for about 50 cents. Boom. And then I said, hey, another partial for me, 70 cents up here. And then I said, this is what I always do. I'm putting in a hard stop just above entry on this now. Well, hindsight trading, well, man, I could have made a heck of a lot more money if I had just taken everything off, right? Well, that's true, but I didn't know that was going to happen. What if we just ripped and we just start going off to all-time highs and just go? I wanted to be a part of that. That's why I'm digging this ditch. I'm not digging this ditch to take some profits in here and run. I want the big move. So now it's like, well, shoot, that trail stopped me out. Dang, I didn't get the big winner. Okay, that's fine. So once it hits this level and trail stops me out, the way that I view this is 1, 2, 3. Trip tops never were, trip bottoms never were. I'll take a shot on the double bottom, but not the trip. And we broke. So now what do we do? Well, you simply rinse and repeat. Okay? So now what I did was I said, let's try it again. Well, why am I trying it again? Man, you can't get a better risk reward setup. It's coming down right to my level. Oh, yes, please. Because literally I'm giving it max 50 cents. Probably closer to 20, 25 cents to 30. Like if it came down into this area, I'm just cutting it. I'm out. And hey, you know what? We'll reset, regather. Maybe it'll be a failed breakdown. Maybe it'll come back in. But the perfect risk reward, right? Take another lotto. Here we go. Now, one of the things I said was, hey, a lesson here is that I switched options, right? And so why did I swap to a lower strike? So in the very, very beginning, I did the 70s, right? And then here, I was like, all right, let's try the 65s. And then here, I said, hey, you know what? So I thought I was doing the 60s, but I was actually doing the 61s. I had the wrong ones teed up, but it's the same idea. So I was doing the 61s. And the reason that I was going on a lower strike is because the delta is higher. The odds of being able to make more money quicker is it's just a lot easier. So let me see. I think I put in the answer in here. I think right here. So I said, right. So right now I was able to scalp out a piece. It took some off here. Blah 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 blah. So the 65s went from like zero point 0.4 to 0.52. I wouldn't have top ticked. So even if I was like performing really well, the most I would have been able to get out is about 8 cents, right? And instead I wanted to take it from 205 to 245. So instead of making 8 cents, I made 40 cents. And that's why, it's just you get that higher delta. But again, if it doesn't work, you're going to get hit more as well. You always take the risk with the reward. And so now you can see I was taking profits, right? This 40 cents. It happened from here to here, real quick, just like that. Boom, boom. As soon as I did that, I was like, all right, now if it comes back down to here, I'll be able to get out about break even or with a little bit of loss, a little bit of gain. Okay. And then it went even higher. And I was like, bam, all right, now I've taken out $1. This is beautiful. And then as it went even higher, I was like, all right, boom, here we go. I am out with 100% winner. And what I said was, hey, learning point here is I dug the ditch 2 times. First time it didn't work. I stayed safe. Second time, will it work? I had no idea. I didn't know if we're going to go woo and take off or if we're just going to roll over and die. But I didn't care. Why? Because I dug the ditch. I dug the ditch here, didn't work. I dug the ditch here, didn't work, right? I don't care. Why? Because, man, I'm eating a steak, right? Medium rare T-bone steak in front of my tiger, and I don't care what happens. Like, I'm not worried at all. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out here is I did try re-entering here, and the reason that I was trying to get re-entered is because you've got 1, 2, right? So I view it as a 50-50. Remember your double bottoms, 50-50, maybe 55-45. It's somewhere in that range. And I'm willing to take a shot at it because it was perfect risk reward. If it worked, I'm going to be able to get, in my mind, at least back up to this level, back up to this high. And if it doesn't, well, then you just cut it real quick. Remember, we already took a good amount of profits out of this. If it comes down to here, I could literally add back everything that I sold, take the profits, buy them back, and if it comes down here, I've still made a heck of a lot more than I just lost. However, I didn't get filled. And it's important to understand why I didn't get filled here. It was bouncing around in here, and it was, you were having, if I would have market ordered in, I could have gone up an extra 20 cents for multiple reasons. A lot of times when options are moving around this fast, you'll have something that'll go from, let's just say, $2.10, and then it drops to $1.80, right, which is 30 cents lower, and then it goes right back up to 220, right, as it comes back up into here, and then maybe it sits back down at around 210, and if I'm market ordering in, and it still says bid ask, like if the bid ask was, let's just say 210 by 220, if I market ordered in, sometimes they will just immediately put you up anyway. They'll go above this area and they'll give you 230 or 235. I didn't want to take that risk because I didn't have the luxury or the space to do that. And so I just had in an order that was just like, all right, this is the level that I want to buy it at, and it was literally like just barely off, and I missed it. That's fine. Okay, great. I missed it. So what did I do here? I literally dug the ditch twice. I'm safe. I'm freaking eating this steak, and I'm like, hey, Tiger, you want some of this delicious steak? You know what? Have some, right? Number 1 rule of trading: preserve and protect your capital. Stay in the game. I took shots, set up plays to pay out big time. I wanted some big money today. I didn't get it. That's all right. They didn't come through. So I took my small gains and I stayed safe. Me and the tiger are still good buddies. I'm not worried the tiger's going to jump out and eat me. Small is relative, right? So some of you guys may think that's a lot. But what I can tell you is train your freaking tiger so that you too can sit here and enjoy the deliciousness that is the market. All right. Talk to you guys later.